Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I am continuing Star Wars Visions. This is Season 1, Episode 5, titled The Ninth Jedi. I've heard a thing or two about this episode being quite good, or at least that one, and then the first one with the duel. These two episodes are the most highly regarded episodes, so quite curious and excited about getting into this one. It's looks like it's also by far the longest episode out of all of them, so they can really dive into some stuff here. And hopefully there's going to be no more mishaps with language. This one is not going to be in Danish, it's going to be in English, hopefully. So it's not going to be an issue again. But let's jump into the episode, and you can of course always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. Let's go.
Many generations have passed since the light of the Jedi protected the galaxy, but Margrave Juro has a plan. He has recently begun mining for rare kyber crystals. Using these crystals, he seeks to restore the Jedi by reforging their ancient weapons, lightsabers. However, ancient dark forces conspire to subjugate the galaxy.
Getting almost like a crawl, or at least an intro of sorts. So when is this taking place? Yoink!
Greetings, my name is Ethan. I am here because I received this encoded transmission summoning me.
Hello, Ethan.
Each of us came here in answer to the same call, just as you have.
Interesting.
I call on the Jedi, hidden across the galaxy. My name is Juro. I am the ruler of High Islan. Join me in the fight to unite our war-torn galaxy and restore peace.
Not sure I trust that transmission, especially because the guy has red eyes. It's never a good sign.
Who's to say if Juro is really a Master Jedi, or if this is a trap?
Yeah, exactly. Could be a trap.
Is there no one here who has ever met this Juro before?
If this is some kind of trap to kill Jedi, did everyone show up here believing that they could survive it? Were you also confident that you...
Wait, is that Ming Na Wen? Definitely some familiar voices here. And I forgot to look up the voices in the previous one.
But I sense the dark side in this place.
Who it is?
I see the 7 Jedi have already gathered. It is true that the Margrave often frightens others because of his appearance. But he is just an eccentric old. But today is the day he promised to meet you. So I am sure he will arrive soon.
Okay. We got 7 Jedi so far. And a robot that, when it laughed, sounded like a hut. Fishing for kyber crystal rocks. Well, that's definitely a lightsaber.
Did you manage to finish all those sabers for the Margrave?
Here?
Oh, you finished a bunch of sabers.
Wrong. So you can change the length on this one?
What the? That's unique.
The color and the length will vary depending on the Jedi using it.
Wow.
Well, I guess my connection to the Force isn't strong enough since the blade doesn't have any real color.
You do have some natural talent with the lightsaber, Kara, but your connection will grow in time with proper training.
What's wrong, 4-9s?
Okay. What do we have here? A straw hat look about them.
You've grown up so much, Kara.
You're all strange. Like this is the last time we'll see each other.
Yeah. It probably is. So it's gonna be her mission to deliver those lightsabers.
You have illicitly manufactured several lightsabers for masterless Jedi.
And where exactly did you get that from?
From the one who enlisted your services to make them.
Huh? No. At least he didn't quite die.
I would like to see evidence of this before he arrives.
Is this what you desire?
Whoa, that's pretty.
May I please hold it? At the time I was born, lightsabers were already lost from the galaxy. A real lightsaber.
The remaining sabers should be arriving very shortly.
She can handle a lightsaber, that's for sure. The environment looks really good. As in, it's very well made. Oof. Nice. Looks like those droids are smoking. But no, okay, yeah. Tea. Kinda.
I'm on my break.
Please, I don't have any time. Just take this and get me to the temple.
I might as well.
Might as well. It's not moving fast, is it?
Something's coming.
Do you think it's the Margrave ship?
No, it is your lightsabers.
Thank you, old droid.
Don't mention it.
My father was caught and taken away by the Jedi Hunters. Please, use these to help me save him.
Do you know the Margrave?
Yeah, I've known him ever since I was a baby.
So then, does that mean you might possibly know where he could be right now?
Hmm? Oh fuck. They are not Jedi.
Your wait is over.
There he is.
We are here to put an end to your pitiful plans of restoring the Jedi Order.
But okay. Even though he looks like a Sith, he is actually a good guy. Nice. And then the color changed. Oh!
Our hunters have taken your father to a distant star system where you'll never see him again.
Oof.
Nice moves.
Hey, I love a good twist. Oof.
Roden!
Ooh. He's good. Oh, and she's becoming stronger in the Force.
Just who are you?
Oh no! Help the Margrave!
Is he? Oh. Oh, that's a horrible way to die. This person's lightsaber turned purple.
We both know this isn't you.
He's not beyond saving.
I apologize. I became consumed by the other's darkness.
I recently learned that a number of Jedi who answered my call were killed, and Sith were sent in their place. So I hid myself in their presence in order to determine who was Sith.
But then what about the other Jedi?
I sense them. They are not lost. They are still wandering out there, somewhere in the galaxy. Kara, You have been guided by the Force ever since the moment you were born. Help us restore peace to the galaxy and take your place as the 9th Jedi so we can re-establish the Jedi Order.
Off they go. And yes, that thing looks like a lightsaber. Wow, that was really cool. Great story and very creative, of course. I like that they didn't set it inside of, just the Galactic Civil War or Republic versus Separatists. But yeah, looks like it's like far, far in the future after the sequel trilogy. That's my take at least. But that was episode 5, The 9th Jedi. It would almost have been more fitting if they had made this one the 9th episode, but what are you gonna do? It really took me for like a loop there with the story, and I also gotta say that even though this is the longest episode, just duration wise, it didn't feel very long. It felt like it was over pretty quickly, and that was just because it was very exciting, and it really. It got me, man. Like it drew me in with the story and the characters, the vibe of it, and also the fact that there was this mystery about it, where you got to a place like pretty quickly, or I did at least, where it was like, yeah, this is a trap for sure, and this guy who's calling them, he looks like a bad guy, a Sith sort of deal with the red eyes there and the mask, the robes. And all the others, they definitely look more like Jedi. So yeah, but there were also some clues in there. For example, with when they got handed this one lightsaber that they had up there, then like no one else ignited the lightsaber besides this Ethan guy, who when he ignited it turned blue because he's a Jedi. And that was a really neat and very original idea right there with the lightsabers. I shouldn't necessarily say it is 100% original, because it is canon, the whole thing with Sith and bleeding the blade and let it become red to kind of show their commitment to the dark side. But this was way more, quick and literal with the lightsabers reflecting the personality of the person who's holding it. And that made for then a very neat visual sort of not trick but surprise when they were all standing around and they were all handed the lightsabers. They ignited them and they were all red, except for of course the now the 9th Jedi, and then there's Ethan guy, and then the magistrate igniting a lightsaber himself, it's turning green, and that shows us, and made it 100% certain that okay, he is actually a good guy. And this was his original plan, is still to save the galaxy. Of course, that's a big plan, but doing it by uniting the Jedi again and all the Jedi who are sort of lost in the galaxy. But he found out that there was an issue there because Sith kept showing up instead and killing the Jedi that he was sending for. So he sort of had to come up with a plan, and this was then the plan to kind of root out these Sith and defeat them, and now they can go and look for the Jedi, but also go and save the 9th Jedi's father. Sorry, there were a lot of names, and I do really want to remember them, but let me just look up the cast list, because then I'm going to be able to see, well, both the names and the actors who voiced those characters, and then I can also look at the previous episode, because as I said, I forgot to do that, but I'll do that after I look at the cast for this episode at least. Okay, yeah, the lead character's name, the girl there, was La Cara, voiced by Kimiko Glenn. I'm pretty sure I've seen her before at least, but then La Sima was voiced by Simu Liu. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but of course that is, now we know him as Shang-Chi. He was also in The Expanse, actually. He was, if you've seen The Expanse, he got turned into floor at one point by the protomolecule. That sounds very weird if you haven't seen that series, but he's actually in that. And then I think I recognize Masioka, who voiced Ethan too, and then the Margrave / the steward droid that was Andrew Kishino. And no Ming-Na Wen, so it sounded like Ming-Na Wen to me, and I'm sorry, that's it's most likely just the person who, like, they have similar voices perhaps. And then while I'm already looking, the voice cast for the last episode, we had Karen Fukuhara voicing F. That would be the Jedi, I believe. Some of the same voice actors that we also heard in this one. And then there were battle droids in the previous episode, and they were voiced by Matthew Wood, of course, because he's always doing the battle droids and Grievous, for example, and he's doing a lot of stuff. But there we go. Now got that out of the way, I can get back to the story here. Gonna have to save the father as well, and now go out and look for these Jedi. So it's once again one of those stories that definitely you can continue on in this world and with these characters. And I would like to see a continuation, because I find that really interesting, and maybe get some more information about where they are sort of setting this story in relation to like the canon stories that we do know. I know still that these Visions stories aren't necessarily canon. They can be made into canon. I'm not saying that they can't do that like retroactively, but for right now, from what we know, they are not canon, but it can still be in relation to what happens in the story, and to me it makes a lot of sense setting this like way after everything that happened in all the movies that we've seen in the trilogy, all the trilogies, prequel, original, and then after the sequel trilogy, and at a point in the galaxy where they really want to start the Jedi Order again, and we need more Jedi. And lightsabers have been gone for a long, long while, or at least for as long as this Ethan guy has been alive. Like, he's never been able to handle like a real lightsaber, but they certainly still, a lot of these people they were still good with the lightsabers, and they were able to handle them. So in that way, they must have been training with some sort of like sabers or swords, but just not the real deal. They had to like wait for this lightsaber smith to actually make them, and then make some very new and unique lightsabers from what we're used to. I really like the way that they told this story and weaved in elements that we of course know about, but then just a lot of new stuff as well. And then I'm a sucker for anything that has to do with Jedi and Sith. I know to some people sometimes it can be a bit too much if everything has to do with like the Force and Jedi and Sith, and it can also be nice to just spend time with like the normal people of the galaxy, perhaps, and go more into like the underworld, or maybe see the people who are in the rebellion or the Empire. Yeah, we've also seen that, but I am like, when it gets really Force centric and we look at like the mythology of the Jedi and the Sith, I eat that up. So this was a very, very enjoyable episode. I see what you guys mean when you say that this one and the first one are probably like the high points of this entire series. And then, even though I always say that things are like, it looks good, the animation and the visuals, I really got to give it to this episode, at least with like the background animations, when they were going through that forest and out on the ice lake, like it just looked really, really cool, and really well made. I say that all the time. And the characters, of course, as well, the movements, voice acting, like it is like the production value of a lot of these are just top notch. And then you get the originality and like how each episode can be very distinct, like because they are made by different animation studios, so they're gonna seem different in that way, at least. And I'm just really, really enjoying this ride so far. But what about you guys? What did you think about this episode 5, The Ninth Jedi? Did you enjoy it as much as I did, and as much as it seems like a lot of people did? Let me know in the comments. Again, subscribe and comment, like, all that if you haven't already. And that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of Star Wars Visions Season 1, Episode 5, The Ninth Jedi. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you as soon as possible. possible. May the Force be with you always.